What advice would you give to your younger self?
To my younger self, I would definitely say to give your all at whatever you do and to always be you. Because I've realized that anything that I do, as long as I be TT, everything else falls into place. So yeah, it's always just have fun at whatever you do and be yourself. And just being able to just keep inspiring others and showing others that you can do what you love and be able to get a lot out of it. I just want to inspire people to always go out there and give their all. If your brain think of it, then if your brain can think of it, then that means you have the opportunity to accomplish it. So, just still being able to relate to them and show them at the end of the day, like, I'm an athlete, but at the same time, I'm human. So I always just try to put my best foot forward with whatever I do to show them that they can do whatever it is that they need to do as well. And I feel like because for little kids, they soak up, they're sponges. So they soak up anything that's given to them. And for me, being an athlete that appeals to little kids so much, I am cautious of the things that I do and the things that I say. And I just wanted to be able to give the little kids something that they can look back on, something that they can kind of see their self in. That kind of ties into why I picked the cover that I picked, to be able to show the different ethnicities on the front cover and allow the kids to be able to see themselves in my shoes and like know that they can go and do whatever that they put their mind to.
You are always cheering people on, motivating individuals, and celebrating your teammates. Why is that important to you? Why do you think that's important as an athlete?
For me, I just feel like every athlete or every person in general have their turn. If things are going well for my teammates, they do what they need to do, I'm going to always clap, because I look at it as it's just not my time right now. But in the meantime, I'm going to be supportive. I'm going to be happy for my team, and especially my teammates, because I know the work that they're putting in. I know how hard they're working out there, how dedicated they is to perfecting their craft and doing what it is that they need to do. And I've always just been very supportive of others. And, I believe in like not comparing my journey to others' journeys, because they may be in chapter 35 and I may be in chapter 15 or something like that, So you never know where your life will take you in the midst of them having their success and doing what it is that they need to do. So in the meantime, I just be happy and do what I can. And I feel like because for little kids, they soak up, they're sponges. So they soak up anything that's given to them. And for me, being an athlete that appeals to little kids so much, I am cautious of the things that I do and the things that I say. And I just wanted to be able to give the little kids something that they can look back on, something that they can kind of see their self in. That kind of ties into why I picked the cover that I picked, to be able to show the different ethnicities on the front cover and allow the kids to be able to see themselves in my shoes and like know that they can go and do whatever that they put their mind to.
Welcome to the Apex Lifestyles Podcast. I'm your host, Bob GDMD, and I'm here as always with my co-host,
Dennis V. What's going on, Bob?
Hey, you know what, Dennis? It's, what is it, Thursday night? Thursday night on the East Coast. It's about 6 p.m. And, we had a busy week, past couple of weeks. We got a couple of videos in the can that are coming out real soon. We spent some time in St. Louis, right?
You know what's funny? Some interesting stuff went out there. We went to Anheuser-Busch.
Yep.
And we met Dana White out there, and we saw that there might be a deal being brokered between First Form and Anheuser-Busch. So
yeah, it is. It's done. Yeah. So they're going to be putting out energy now instead of it. I think they changed it from First Form Energy to just plain old Energy, and Dana White's their spokesperson.
That's incredible. What a great opportunity. Caught a great game out there. Saw Ohtani play, Mookie Betts. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great to see Mookie, but not in a Red Sox uniform.
It's another story.
Yeah.
We just lost Devers.
Yeah.
That's another story in itself.
Right, but hey, what, like 4 games out?
4 games out, we're in it.
So
wild card, so let's go.
Let's go, right? So, Dennis, we have the Thunders roll in.
Olympic champions in the house.
It's crazy.
Let me tell you something. It is an absolute honor to have. Well, by the way, it's about 97 here today, and I'm complaining this morning when I'm speaking to this guest. I guess that's what it is like in the regular in Florida, straight out of Miami. This young lady blew through the Florida track system, got a full scholarship to University of Southern California. Afterwards, won World Athletic Championship in 2022 and 23. And became an Olympic gold medalist in the women's 4x100 meter relay. Ladies and gentlemen, TeeTee Terry, welcome to the show.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank
TeeTee.
you.
TeeTee, it is an absolute pleasure having you on the show. We've connected for a little while now. We'll get to that a little bit later. But take us through your journey, Miami, Florida, and the track scene. Give us the backstory.
So I started track in 2009. I put myself in track and field, which is one of those days where the recreational track had started and the kids was out there at the track at Goose Park, and they were just out there just running around having fun. And me and my siblings and some of my other family members and friends, we were walking home from school, Pine Villa Elementary, and I just made the choice and said, we're going to go out and try out one day. There was no expectations, nothing set in stone. We went to try out, and I made it to the Junior Olympics my very first year in 2009, where I went on to compete in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I didn't make it to the final in the 100 and the 200, but I did make it to the final in a 4x1. And I ran second leg at the time, along with the other young girls on my team at the time. And we won gold. And I think we broke the national record that year. But either way, whatever we did that year, our performance was plastered all over the Miami Herald. For those who don't know, that's a very top newspaper here down in South Florida. And the rest was history. I kept going back. And it was really just a mindset of just going back to hang out with my friends, to have something to do in the summer. And as I look back at my journey, each level, I decided to take it a little more serious, a little bit serious. So it went from being all fun and games to running track in middle school. From Richmond Heights Middle School, my 6th and 7th grade year, then Nautilus Middle School, my 8th grade year. I'm winning different championships, middle school championships. Then I went on to Miami Northwestern. Well, I attended Law Enforcement Officers Memorial High School, which is a magnet school down in Miami. You have 3 different strands. You have law studies, homeland security, and forensic science. And depending on which strand you study within your 4 years of college, you graduate with some type of certification. So I studied homeland security, where I took criminal justice 1 through 4. My freshman to senior year, and then junior and senior, you take dispatch 1 and then dispatch 2 your senior year. And once you graduate, you take the dispatch certification test. And if you pass the test, you're able to become a dispatcher straight out of high school. So if track didn't work out, I would have kind of been set up with a job right out of high school, you know. So I attended there. But due to them having no sports, I ran track for Miami Northwestern Senior High School down in Liberty City, because they had it where you can compete for your home school. So I would literally wake up at 4 a.m. in high school, because my dad worked on Miami Beach, and we stayed in Miami Gardens at the time. And for those who don't know, Miami Beach and Miami Gardens maybe like 30 minutes to an hour away from each other, depending on traffic. So it was just my dad and I. He had to be to work by 5 a.m. to Miami Beach. So I had to get dropped off to my grandma's house in Liberty City on my dad's way to work, and then wait a couple more hours for me to get ready for school. And then I had to have my grandma take me to the train station, and I had to catch the train to school. And then luckily, where my high school was located, the train station was across the street. So once I got the train at Government Center, then I just walked across the street onto school. So, you know, I had a busy schedule to make sure I was able to do what it is that I wanted to do. And then after school was over, I had to either get back on a train, or I was lucky enough to have another friend that attended my school but was also running track at Miami Northwestern, and her dad would come and pick us up every day after school in order to get us to practice on time. And the days that he couldn't pick us up, I had to take the train and maybe a couple buses, and things of that sort. But I say all that to say that that's kind of what instilled a lot in me to have the journey that I did have in track and field. In high school, I realized that I can go to college free of charge. My parents won't have to worry about being in debt or paying anything if I did what I needed to do in the classroom and on a track. In the classroom, I was always superior or principal honor roll. During the time with superior, because there's always that one B that'll mess me up. And then my freshman year in high school, I got third at the state championships in both the 100 and the 200, but we won a 4x1 and we won state overall. After that, my sophomore year, I came with a whole different mentality, a whole different attitude. Once I saw the seniors leave and go to school where they wanted to go to, so I knew I needed to be on my A game to choose what school I wanted to go to and not have to be required to attend a certain school. So I went on to win 6 individual titles. I won the 100 and 200 my sophomore year, my junior, and my senior year, and the 4x1 all 4 years, and that led to me a full ride scholarship to the University of Southern California.
Fantastic. What a story. Dennis, I mean, what do you say to that? You definitely like a born talent to run, right? I mean, your first one, you're saying your first time out, you came out as a winner,
Yeah.
without any real training, right? So
Right.
that's God given, I think, you know.
But then the other thing is, just as you're explaining, is you had to show a level of commitment at a very young age if this is what you want to do, and then you wanted to get it. So now you're a Trojan. You're out at USC. Talk about what was that ride like out there in California?
So at USC, that was a fun ride. No, I was still had
Can
that
I interrupt
mentality.
for a second, TT? What made you decide to become a Trojan? 'Cause
So
I'm sure you were like you were recruited. I'm sure by a
So
few
this is a funny
places.
story as I always look back on it. So my coach at USC, she had connections to my high school coaches because she coached one of my high school coaches when she was out at UCF at University of Central Florida. And my high school coach will always talk about Coach Carroll this, Coach Carroll that, this, that. And I'm like, who is this Coach Carroll? I need to meet this Coach Carroll. Like, who is this person? So every year at the University of University of Florida, down in Gainesville, they have this meet called the Florida Relays, where high schoolers, professionals, and collegiate athletes attend this meet. So Miami Northwestern, we were known for always going to Florida Relays, competing at Florida Relays. And just so happened one year while Coach Carroll was coaching at USC, they decided to come to Florida Relays. So I saw her at Florida Relays, and my high school coach introduced me to her. And was like, this is Coach Carroll. And I was like, oh, hey, like, okay. Now I see who Coach Carroll is. I put the face to the name now. And Coach Carroll was literally about to walk off, but she was in the process of trying to get her team ready for competition stuff. So I wasn't worried about it, the fact that she was about to walk off. But something stopped her in her tracks, and she turned around. She said, what are your times? Like, what times are you running right now in my events in 100 and 200? And at the time, I think I was 11:44 and I was 23:2 or something along those lines. So the moment I said those times to her, she stuck her hand out. She was like, oh, my name Coach Carroll. Nice to meet you. And got my name as well. So, the times kind of sparked that interest from her. And then from there on out, I went and I researched USC. Do they have my degree? Do they have what I want to study? And things like that. And then I was like, they don't have exactly what I wanted. Because at the time, I kept telling myself I was going to study criminal justice. I was going to get a criminal justice degree. But I realized you don't need a criminal justice degree if you wanted to go into the law enforcement field. So I went more broader with communication. And USC had the #1 school, Annenberg School of Communication. It was ranked #1 at the time. And then Kendall Ellis, she was a South Florida native. And Deanna Hill was also from South Florida. I'm like, okay, both of them on a team. I look up to Deanna. I've ran against Kendall's school in multiple track meets. So I kind of had that familiarity there at USC. So that kind of what draw me into USC.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. That's it's always interesting to me when young people are picking their school, why they do it. And that was just a networking situation that it's like, I got to be with that Coach Carroll, right?
Yes.
So you're at USC earning many accolades. Going back to high school when you're young, you're like, I'm going to college for free. No debt, no whatever. Now you're at college, and did that mindset begin to shift that I could be doing this professionally?
So that mindset didn't shift right away, but I knew I could do it professionally, but I wasn't focused or dialed in on just trying to, okay, I need to hurry up and get out of here to go professional. I just let everything take its course. But when I did step on USC campus, I did say I want to graduate in 3 years because I plan to go professional in 3 years. And I want to graduate before I even go professional because I'm not trying to worry about school and competing at the same time. So I did want to get placed on a 3-year track, which is kind of common but uncommon at the same time for some athletes, because in order to get on a 3-year track, that means you have to take extra credits. The school have to pay out of pocket for those credits and things of that sort. But I knew I would be able to do it, and I had proved that to them my freshman year with the GPA that I had, making a dean's list every semester and things of that sort. Like, before I even stepped on the track at USC, before I was even thought of, I got recruited, but before I was even thought about by anybody else, I had wrote in a notebook that within my 4 years here at USC, I plan to break Angela Williams' school record. And her school record was set back in 2000, if I'm not mistaken, or either 1999. I think her school record was set in 1999, and the time was, I think she had ran 11 flat, or it was something along those lines. But I was like, I'm going to break within my 4 years. But by the dedication, commitment, and the focus that I had, I broke it my freshman year, running 10.99, setting a freshman record and setting a school record. And then going forward, I remember my junior year, COVID came around, but I still had that mindset before COVID even made its appearance that I was going to be graduating that year. I'll be going pro. So I ended up taking 20 units during fall
Wow.
semester. And 20 units was crazy for anybody to hear, and let alone me being an athlete. I had some friends that we call them NARPs, which is non-athletic regular people. So I had some friends, and it was like, you're
I,
taking 20 units?
I guess I'm a NARP, right?
That's funny. I never heard. That's funny, TeeTee.
Yeah, like, so a lot of athletes will call them NARPs. So I had one of my friends that wasn't in sports. This girl didn't know anything about, like, she knew sports, but she would never sweat or anything. She'd come to class in like dresses and heels every class. So she's like, "You're taking 20 units? We don't even take 20 units, and we're not even in the sport. We barely even take 16. So I was telling everyone, yeah, I'm taking 20 units, but I had to obviously get approval from the AD. They had to sign off on this. I'm telling them, like, y'all, I know I can do it. I know I can do it. Y'all just sign off, do what y'all need to do. I would do everything on my end. So I remember it was one Wednesday in fall we had a lot of early trainings. Where I'm talking about waking up at 5 in the morning, or have to be at the weight room at 6 in the morning. And I recall on Wednesdays, we used to have a hill workout. And with the hills workout, we had to be on campus to leave at 5 a.m., meaning I needed to be up by 4 something in order for me to eat breakfast, get ready, and make it to campus on time. So I had that practice at 4 a.m., and we'll get back to campus. And my last class on Wednesday wasn't over until 9:20 or 9:30 p.m. So my Wednesday every week for that fall semester started from 4 a.m. all the way to probably about 10:30 p.m. because I still have to get home, do some work for other classes, or anything of that sort. But I was just so dedicated to graduating within my 3 years that I wasn't letting anything get in the way of me graduating. And on top of doing that, I still was able to maintain my GPA, still make the dean's list. I think that was my lowest semester, but it still was over 3.0. It was like a 3.2 or something like that. But for me, I'm like, 3.2, I know I'm way better than that. So I set so many goals once I stepped on USC campus, whether it was athletic related or it was academic related. Because I remember 2018 was a stellar year at USC for Coach Carroll. You had myself, you had Olympic gold medalist now Rye Benjamin, you had Anna Cockrow, you had Michael Norman, and it's me coming in as a freshman and being the only freshman to make the final in 100 and earn third place and help the team win a national championship my first year in. So my career at USC was nothing short of amazing.
And then you propel into professional career. And you and I've had some talks. It's not like you're going to the gym for an hour. You're out there all day in the heat every day. You want to take us through what those workouts look like as a professional?
Yeah, so as a professional, I train down in Claremont, Florida under Dennis Mitchell and Sharif Lewis. With our group is called Star Athletics. And honestly, we don't know what our workout is going to be when we step on until we step on the track. Like, and I'm talking about step on the track ready to do the workout. We can get out there doing a warm up, and we kind of like trying to figure out, well, what coach placed the cones of the day, what we may have, or what did we do last week. The only time we know what we're doing in practice is the following week, because we have this thing where we repeat the same thing for 2 weeks. And the second week, the reps may get faster, or they may add on extra sets or something like that. But we never know. We kind of just thrown a loop every time we step on the track. And we kind of train from like 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that includes being at the track. That includes going to the weight room and doing what you need to do. And it's kind of that long because of the amount of people we have in our group as well, on the men's and women's sides, to allow everyone to be able to get their workout done and everybody be done at the same time. It's not one of those where, okay, well, this athlete is done, so now they leave. We all tend to do everything together. It's very kind of like, I would say, family oriented or so. But yeah, going to the track, we never know what coach is going to throw at us. We kind of just go out there and just be ready. But once the season goes on, then you kind of have an idea. Okay, it's Wednesday. We tend to do this specific workout on Wednesdays. It's Friday. We may do this. But other than that, we always throw for a loop.
So you threw a name out there. Dennis Mitchell, 1994 Olympic gold medalist, I believe 4x100 meter relay as well. And what is it like working with him? And how does he motivate, inspire you? And take us through that.
It's definitely amazing working with him, knowing that he's been in our shoes. He know what it takes to win a gold medal, what it takes to even just be a world-class athlete. And he just been able to communicate with him and, hey, coach, how do we get this done? How do we get that done? You know, he eats, sleeps, breathe track. He's definitely a math guru. He knows the numbers. If you want to run this specific time, this is what you need to be doing in practice. So I've definitely been getting more of a feel and building a better relationship with him. He's my first male coach because like in high school, I had a male coach, but he was an assistant coach, and the head coach was a lady. In college, my head coach was a lady, but the assistant was a man. But I never had an actual male head coach until I got to Star Athletics. But you know, I looked into the group before I even came here. I knew the goals that I had in mind, what I wanted to accomplish, and I just felt that he would be the best coach to take me to that level and be able to get me there. And obviously, he has done a great job. You know, my rookie year in 2022, I made the team, won a gold medal there, followed up with another gold medal in 2023 in the 4x1, and then 2024 in Paris winning a gold medal in the 4x1. But also him as a coach, just being able to have 3 of his ladies sweep the podium at the U.S. trials and go on to have all 3 also make the final at the Olympics and place within the top 5. I feel like that was such an amazing feat for us as women to accomplish, but for us to have our coach be able to take us to that level to be able to do those type of things.
TeeTee, something I recognize about you, and I see it through social media and everything, you are like the teammate. You are always cheering people on, motivating individuals, and celebrating your teammates. Why is that important to you? Why do you think that's important as an athlete?
For me, I just feel like every athlete or every person in general have their turn. If things are going well for my teammates, they do what they need to do, I'm going to always clap because I look at it as it's just not my time right now. But in the meantime, I'm going to be supportive. I'm going to be happy for my team, and especially my teammates, because I know the work that they're putting in. I know how hard they're working out there, how dedicated they is to perfecting their craft and doing what it is that they need to do. And I've always just been very supportive of others. And, you know, I believe in like not comparing my journey to others' journeys, because they may be in chapter 35 and I may be in chapter 15 or something like that, you know. So you never know where your life will take you in the midst of them having their success and doing what it is that they need to do. So in the meantime, I just be happy and do what I can. I put my best foot forward still. Like I said, at the end of the day, if it's their time, then it's their time. And I'm not one to sit around and be sad or be soaking because they're doing what they need to do or they're winning or they're doing this and that. I firm believing that my time will come around.
Let's talk about your time. That moment you realize you won the Olympic gold medal. First of all, I do not think you could have run faster. Your time, those arms, you were moving. What did that achievement mean to you personally?
That achievement meant a lot to me. You know, going from winning a gold medal in 2022 at the World Championships, a gold medal in 2023, you know, the Olympics is the highest of them all, and be in triumph World Champions. Like, it was amazing being able to do what I did in 22 and 23. 24, being able to win a gold medal, but not only win a gold medal, but do it with my teammates. You know, most of my team made up the 4x1. We had Melissa Jefferson Wooden on first leg, me on second leg, and then Sha'Carri on last leg. So being able to know that we was able to get the job done that we set that year, because going into 2024, we was like, we can sweep the podium at USA's, we can sweep the podium, we can sweep the podium. But I ended up getting injured in March, like early March, and my season was also supposed to start in March. So it's like getting injured in an Olympic year, you know, that could take a huge toll on athletes. But I had the support of my teammates, the support of my coaches, the support of my dad, my family, and having them be able to pour into me and still allow me to know, like, there's still an opportunity to make it. You can still go out there and do what it is that you need to do. So me being able to make the team and also contribute to the 4x1, because I feel like I've always said, like, when it comes to second leg, I feel like nobody runs second leg the way that I run second leg. So being able to go out there and showcase my strength and be able to help the team bring home a gold medal, along with, I think it may have been a championship record. I'm not sure. I know 2023 we did a championship record, but for us to still win gold and feel like we wasn't even at our best as far as like baton exchanges and things of that sort, it was just an amazing feeling, and just being able to go out there and be able to back it up.
So I have a question. When you're standing there on the line, right? And this is right before you guys finish that heat and win the gold. You're standing there, you're running second, right?
Yeah.
And you see your first running coming with a baton. Like, what's going through your mind? Tell the listener what's going through your mind in that moment. I mean, do you get quiet? Do you get, are you just running through it? You've done it so many times that it's just, Like, tell us. I mean, I would think that if I was in that position, obviously I'm not a runner. I'm a big dude, right? But anyway, it would be kind of funny me doing a baton thing. Right? Yeah, it'd be funny. But like, what's going through? You have all these people in the stands. Are you nervous? Are you excited? Or are you just there to do the job?
It's kind of a miss, but I'm really there to do the job. You know, I know that my main goal is just making sure I pay attention for Melissa to hit the mark and that I take out on time and I do my job as an outgoing runner, which is just to throw my hand back, don't try to search for the baton, let Melissa spot your hand and push the baton through. And then once I get the baton, I'm just thinking catch as many people as you can, pick up as many people as you can, and just push through that zone so I can pass the baton to Gabby and keep the stick moving. So that's all I'm usually thinking. I'm not thinking too much going into the race. I'm like, okay, it's time to quiet our mind. And I listen for when it started to tell Melissa to get in the block. And I'm like, okay, she's getting in the blocks. Now I got to get ready, get in my position, get in my stance so I can be ready to go.
Yeah. And then when you're running, so basically you're saying you're focusing in on the things that you've done and you're kind of tuning everything else out. How does visualization before you even get on the track? Like, how much do you use visualization, like when you're in your quiet time? And
I do it quite often. Visualizing myself running the races the way that I need to. If there are certain patterns that I have to do in the race, or for instance, like when it comes to a 4x1, just making sure that I take out on time. I push out the zone. I'm standing on my side of the track. So just thinking of all of those little things, but at the same time, the 4x1. I don't really have too much of a worry because I know I'm going to handle my job. And then I also know that I have teammates that would do their job and be able to back me up if I was to make a mistake. I know I have teammates that have the opportunity to fix things and get things right for us to still go on and do what it is that we need to do. So I'm kind of more in a relaxed state when it comes to the 4x1. But don't get me wrong, I still be a bit nervous because at the end of the day, it is passing the baton around. You don't want to be the one to mess up and cost the team a medal or anything of that sort. So I still be cautious with some of the things that I do, or sometimes I'll think like, but I be having so much confidence in faith in my teammates to do their own job going into the race that I don't really have to be worrying about anybody else but myself in my lane.
TeeTee, switching gears. Author, TeeTee Terry, TeeTee's World Adventure. Talk about it. How does it feel to be an author?
It feels amazing to be an author. You know, a lot of people tell me that I be doing so many different things. I do this, I do that. You know, I crochet, I build Lego sets. I do a lot of DIY stuff around my house. So adding author was just another skill set that I ended up having and being able to bring to life. And I really attach to kids no matter where I go. I somehow get attached to somebody's child some way, somehow, and I be having no clue, but at the same time, I don't question it really. So me being able to put out a children's books and be able to relate to the kids on their level, and get them something to connect with me with, going out after I did release the book and going out to the schools and being able to read it to the kids and having the little kids flip through the pages like, oh, that's me, or I'm that person, you know. So just being able to connect to them and have something for them. And I feel like because for little kids, you know, they soak up, they're sponges. So they soak up anything that's given to them. And for me, being an athlete that appeals to little kids so much, I am cautious of the things that I do and the things that I say. And I just wanted to be able to give the little kids something that they can look back on, something that they can kind of see their self in. That kind of ties into why I picked the cover that I picked to be able to show the different ethnicities on the front cover and allow the kids to be able to see themselves in my shoes and like know that they can go and do whatever that they put their mind to.
TeeTee, you are extremely, extremely creative. I mean, is going through the process, blown away that you had all the different cultures in the book. I'm sorry, I had my, I'm sorry, TeeTee, absolutely amazed with your creativity. All of the ethnicities, the cultures, the colors you put into this. Where did that creative side come from?
So I've always been a creative person. I've always loved colors. I love the different mixes and things like that. So I really just get an eye for something and I'm like, okay, let me see what it look like this, or let me see what it look like that. And I'll just play around with it for a bit. And I'll sometimes ask other people like, hey, what you think about this? Or you think I should need to tweak something? Do I need to do this? I need to do that. But I've always just been creative with everything. Like I remember growing up, I'll have my room set up one way, and then the next week, my dad would come home and my room would be changed around a whole nother different layout. So it's just like with anything that I've done, I've been creative. Like even around my house, I have different rooms that have their own unique vibe to them, and it's some type of creativity is poured into them. So that's just been something that's just always been a part of me.
TT, I remember when you did the photo shoot when the book came out, and I think I asked you, where was that studio? That's like the coolest studio. And you're like, this is my place. I mean, it is like a theater. It's like going to a museum with different colors and everything. And is there anything, themes from your Olympic experience or your travels or your work as and I'll say student athlete, because obviously you've always been a student first. Is there anything that you're trying to get across in your children's books or when you meet with children to help inspire future generations?
I think for me, it's just more so just telling kids to be them, have fun with it is that to have fun with whatever it is that they do, and whatever that they put their mind to, they can achieve, they can accomplish. I feel like the book that I released, the goal was just to show kids friendship, teamwork. I feel like a lot of people be feeling like they have to do things on their own, or they can't talk to others, or they can't do anything with others. Whereas for me, my track career started out by me being a part of a team, by me having friends, by me being on a relay and winning a gold medal in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I feel like without my friends or without that support, I probably wouldn't have been the TT that I am today, you know? So just showing them being able to rely on your friends or be able to count on your friends to get things done, and that everything don't always have to be just a solo job or things that you have to do individually. And then it's showing them that if you decide to put your mind to something, all the good that could come out of it. Like me deciding to go to the track in 2009 has led to me being able to travel around the world, and not just in the United States, but in other countries where I'm also recognized in other countries. And I feel like that was a shocker to me, going to other countries. I'm like, wait, they actually know who I am. Like they actually know about me, and not just from the competition, but before I even make it to the competition, even if I'm at the airport, you know, you have some athletes that already be standing in the airport with your pictures or outside the hotel, and they actually know who it is that they're talking to, as opposed to just thinking that they saw the winner at the actual competition. They're just trying to take pictures with the winner. So I feel like that was really eye-opening for me, and being able to travel the world just by doing something that I love.
So let me ask you a question. Can you give the listener a synopsis of your book, and how do you find, how can people find it? How can they get it?
Yeah, so the title of my book is TT's World Adventure. It is available on Amazon. All you have to do is just type in the title and it will come right up, and Amazon delivers them pretty fast. But yeah, the synopsis of my book was more so tying in that idea of friendship and teamwork. It's about myself, the main character, and I'm getting ready to prepare for a meet. And in order to prepare for that meet, I have my friends by my side. We having fun, whether that's running or getting ready to run in practice, or actually at the meet with our family in town, and getting ready for the competition. Not just myself, but also some of like the other characters in the book, some other teammates that I grew up with, and some fellas are also in there, because I wanted to also make sure that the young readers that was reading it can kind of visualize themselves in the book, be able to see themselves in my shoes, and whether they was doing track or not, they can have that visualization, be able to feel like they have the opportunity to do the same thing that I did. And at the end of the book, it kind of like goes into like me having track and field in my heart, and you know, it's neither far nor near, you know, it's kind of like just having that mindset of knowing that I can go out there and travel wherever I want to with the support of my friends, and still be able to get things done and go out there and put my best foot forward in my sport.
TT, what advice would you give to your younger self?
To my younger self, I would definitely say to give your all at whatever you do, and to always be you. Because I've realized that anything that I do, as long as I be TT, everything else falls into place. The moment that I stop being myself, or I stop being TT, then things start to feel like I'm forcing it, or it's rough for me to get through to do those things. So yeah, it's always just have fun in whatever you do and be yourself.
What does the future look like for TT?
The future for TT looks like a lot. TT does some of everything. Like I said, TT crochet, TT build Legos, TT writing books, you know, more books to come. I definitely see that in my future, being able to release more children books, eventually probably get to the point where I release for like middle schoolers or high schoolers and be able to tap into that age group and that age range, creating more crochet pieces. I'm actually working on a blanket sitting over here right now, and just being able to just keep inspiring others and showing others that you can do what you love and be able to get a lot out of it. I feel like track has definitely built a lot of relationships for me, and a lot of those relationships I still have to this day. I still hang on tight to those relationships, and being able to meet people in other countries and be able to still have ties with them to this day. And even attending college, you know, at USC is one of the top schools where you can be sitting in the classroom with someone and not know that they're a prince or a princess in their country. I had one friend where she was attending USC and didn't realize the type of family that she came from and the amount of wealth that her family had. Like, it was to the point where she asked for like a baby tiger for her birthday, and like the prime minister and stuff had to sign off for that. So, you know, just being able to run into those type of interactions or build those type of relationships. Whereas I feel like without track and field, I probably would have not built those relationships. Like, I know I would have still been successful, but I would have been successful in another room. It wouldn't be tied to sports or being able to inspire so many people the way that I inspire them today.
So what is it that you want to inspire people to do?
I just want to inspire people to always go out there and give their all. Always go out there and give it a shot. Whatever. If your brain think of it, then if your brain can think of it, then that means you have the opportunity to accomplish it. And being able to show them like, yes, I'm a successful track and field athlete, but there are times where I'm not as successful, and I have competitions or moments where I'm just not putting things together. I can't figure out how to make everything flow, how to make everything go the way that I'm expecting it to go. So, you know, just still being able to relate to them and show them at the end of the day, like, I'm an athlete, but at the same time, I'm human. I go through some of the same things that you all go through. I experience the same things that you all experience. It's just a matter of the way that I have to carry myself by me being in the limelight and others looking at me, because I'm a firm believer of I never know who's watching and I never know who I'm impacting. So I always just try to put my best foot forward with whatever I do to show them that they can do whatever it is that they need to do as well. And I feel like within my career, 2024 showed that to a lot of people, because I got injured in an Olympic year, but I still went on to make the team and make a final, whereas most people didn't know that I was injured at the time. So they was obviously making their assumptions as fans do, you know. So it's not like I was mad about it or anything, because at the end of the day, fans gonna go based off what's presented to them. So based off the way that I was running in the rounds that the U.S. qualified at the trials that year, most people didn't see me making the team. It was like, I'm not gonna even make it out the first round, but let alone I made it through all 3 rounds and made the team. And then once people found out I was injured, it's kind of like their attitude or their perspective shifted, like, oh wow, she was injured, she made the team, you know. And then people started like making memes and sayings of it, like, oh, if y'all see me use this, like they'll take a photo of me and like, oh, if y'all see me use this photo, that means I'm not getting left behind. Because I remember going into the race to make the team, and I told my teammates, whatever y'all do, I'm coming through there with y'all. Like, I'm not gonna be the one to not complete the quest of us sweeping the podium, you know. So I just say that to say that there's so much that people see as us being athletes or seeing us as celebrities or top people, but at the end of the day, we're still human, and we're able to relate to them in ways that they probably didn't expect us to be able to relate to them.
Give up's not in your vocabulary, is it?
No, definitely not.
No, that's great. TeeTee, it has been an honor, pleasure to have you. Where can the viewer find you? What are your social media handles where they can find you?
So
Celebrate your journey.
So if anything, if you forget what I'm about to say, you can always put my name in on Google. You can type in TeeTee Terry, Twanisha Terry. Either way, my information will pop up on Google. But aside from that, I am on Instagram. But my Instagram handle was something I made in high school. So it can only be me, __. But once again, if you type in my name, Twanisha Terry or TeeTee Terry, it should pop up, because I have my actual name within my bio for you all to search that, and it take you to my page as well. And all of my other handles is TeeTee Terry. Facebook, for the older folks, TeeTee Terry. I'm active on there for you all. Twitter is TeeTee Terry _, and TikTok is the same thing, TeeTee Terry _. And you will know which account is me by me being verified, except on TikTok, I'm not verified yet. But yes, you can search me on Google and find the information to everything.
TeeTee, were you speaking to the host when you said that, the older folks?
That's exactly what I heard.
TeeTee,
Listen, But my Facebook does really good. I'm at 32K followers on Facebook now, and I was at way less than that. They be showing out on Facebook. I love Facebook for the folks. I love it.
Yeah, don't hate on the old folks. I'm telling you. Hey, TeeTee, for the listener, where'd the name TeeTee come from?
So TeeTee was a childhood nickname, actually. And I was always called it as a child. And then once I got to college, I remember I won my first title, the 60-meter indoor in 2019. If you all want to go look that up on YouTube. And there was a commentator by the name of Jill Montgomery. And as she commentating, me winning the 60-meter title out of lane one took everyone by surprise because I went in with the last time. So as I'm running, I'm winning. She's like, TeeTee Terry, oh my gosh, it's TeeTee Terry. And from that point on, they only referred to me as TeeTee Terry. If the commentator knew who I was beforehand, if they would never say Twanisha Terry. Like my paperwork and everything going into the meet says Twanisha Terry, but they would always just switch to TeeTee Terry, it's TeeTee Terry. And ever since then, it just stuck and everybody just refers to me as TeeTee Terry. Not a lot of people even know that my name is Twanisha. A lot of people think my name is TeeTee.
TeeTee, listen, how long did it take me to spell your name right? How many times did we go back and forth? And you're so polite. You're like, Dennis, come on, it's this way. So I got it right now.
Yes.
Bob, what are you going to say about this?
What an incredibly inspiring guest that we had today. You're an inspiration. You do things that I could never even imagine to do, and I always live vicariously through people like yourself. So thank you for that. Thank you for coming on our show. And if anyone wants to go and pick up TeeTee's book, I'll have Dennis hold it up one more time. It's available on Amazon and TeeTee's World Adventure. That'd be great for a young person in your life. That'd be great. And, obviously share the show if you liked it. Again, thank you so much, TeeTee, for coming on. It's been my distinct pleasure. And Dennis, I know it was a pleasure for you too, man.
TeeTee, we've known each other for a little while. And the one thing is, this is TeeTee. You are humble. You're an exceptional young lady. I just always, your Instagram stories, you were doing something different every 2 seconds. You're like a mosquito. It's incredible. You're so full of life, but one of the most amazing things is you're an exceptional person. Don't ever change being who you are. Keep reaching your dreams, and we just love following your story. So thanks for joining us. And as always, it's go time.
Thanks, y'all.